Hey everyone, welcome to another one of my videos, and today what I'm going to do is rank all of the Kanto playthroughs that I've done in Pokemon Yellow into a tier list so that I can use this at the end of my videos. And I'm doing this right now at the end of the year because I want to reflect on the first year and a half of my channel and sort of do a retrospective and a little bit of my thoughts about some Scott's thoughts, if you will, about all of the playthroughs that I've done to this point. We're going to go in chronological order from the oldest run on my channel to the very newest one. So here we go. This is the first video that I've done that isn't actually a Pokemon challenge, and that feels kind of nice. Okay, so Butterfree. Where does Butterfree go? Now, the important thing to note is that I've actually done a lot of Butterfree playthroughs. So I did a original Butterfree playthrough where I used like lots of badge boost glitch with Harden and stuff like that. I had no idea what I was doing. Like, that video is so bad. Just go back and watch it. Yeah, it's a bad video. Then after that, I did a Butterfree video without Sleep Powder. Then I did a Butterfree video with no special moves. So I was just using like Tackle and stuff like that. Oh, that was brutal as well. Finally, I ended up doing Butterfree versus Beedrill later on, and in that I used more sleep tactics. And then most recently, I did a follow-up to that video, and in that video, I did Butterfree with Substitute strategy. Now, Butterfree with Substitute is an absolute beast, so I think it's going to get probably like a C ranking. Let's see. So the most recent Butterfree run I did got a time of 1 hour and 56 minutes. Now, honestly, that's not pretty good compared to a lot of the other Pokemon, but it is better than something like Pikachu. So for now, I'm going to put Butterfree in the C tier, and if it turns out that there's a lot of Pokemon that are a lot better than it, then maybe I'll move it down or something like that. So for now, it's C tier because the Substitute strategy just makes Butterfree so consistent with Sleep Powder. You just go behind a Substitute, then you get Sleep Powder off, and from there you can basically sweep. And if the opponent wakes up, you've got an extra turn because of Substitute to put them back to sleep, which really levels out the inconsistency of accuracy on Sleep Powder. The next Pokemon that I did a challenge with on my channel was Beedrill. Now, with Beedrill, I originally played it just once, and I figured out that Twin Needle is actually pretty good. Bug moves in Generation 1 turn out to be, they're pretty good moves. And then when I did it more recently in the Versus video against Butterfree, I found out that it didn't perform better than Butterfree, but that's because I made some mistakes with it. And so after I corrected those mistakes, it got a time of 1 hour and 57 minutes. So that was basically on par with Butterfree's Substitute strategies. So I'm just going to put Beedrill here right beside Butterfree in the C tier, because they're basically on par with each other. I'd say that I prefer Butterfree just because of its sleep tactics, but Beedrill is actually really good for Generation 1. Having a bug move is really nice for once, because normally you don't have a bug move. Following my initial Butterfree and Beedrill video, I actually did 3 videos in Pokemon Red, which I'm not going to rank. That was an Oddish video, a Hitmonchan video, and a Lickitung video. Yeah, I'm only ranking Pokemon Yellow, because Pokemon Red and Blue I figured out are much different from Pokemon Yellow. The playthrough that I did next was Voltorb. Now, let's be real about this guy. He's awful. I'm going to put the current playthrough that I did with Voltorb in the F tier, because I had to be level 100 to defeat the game, and I had to be level 99 to beat Giovanni. Now, it's key to note, this is Voltorb's current ranking. I will be replaying Pokemon Yellow with Voltorb in the very near future, because I want to try and give it a new ranking. I also didn't time that playthrough, so I don't really have a good sense for how well Voltorb will do, but it's pretty bad. Yeah. Electric types just don't fare well in Yellow. I hope I've proved that recently with my Pikachu video. The next video I did was a Jigglypuff video, and this is where the girlfriend meme started, because she is the one who asked me to do it. Honestly, I don't really remember much about this run other than the fact that Jigglypuff is exceptionally slow and it was really frustrating. So I think I'm actually going to bring the video up and we're going to just watch a couple frames of it together and we'll see how bad I was. Okay, so let's do that.
My girlfriend requested.
Okay, here it is.
Challenge.
Also, let's just pause for a moment. What is this background? It's so bad. I got the new art and the old art. I'm trying to not just put the same art twice, and I just got pink circles. Yeah, anyways, my backgrounds are better now. There's just a mic bump there. Oh, that's so funny. I didn't edit that out. So now that I remember this one a little bit more, it's still a long time ago. It's over a year ago now that I played that, and I had no idea what I was doing back then. I needed to be like level 90 to win. That's pretty high. Also, Jigglypuff is really slow, but overall it wasn't that hard. I would say that it's probably gonna, like, if I did it now, it would probably come in like above Butterfree and Beedrill because of its move pool. But for now, I'll just put it down here in D tier because it's a normal type. It's got a wide move pool. Didn't seem that hard. Like I said, the league wasn't that hard when I was watching it, so yeah, we'll put it there. Again, this is a subjective tier list, so you can get mad at me if you think that I did better with Jigglypuff than Butterfree and Beedrill, but I've done more recent runs with these ones, so I think that my times with them are better. And again, we're ranking my playthroughs, not the Pokemon. My playthroughs with these Pokemon. The video that I did next was Porygon. This one is probably fine. Like, I don't really remember it either. Again, these are so long ago. I'm just going to put it in the C tier because, like, I don't remember it being particularly challenging. It definitely wasn't as hard as Jigglypuff. Wasn't nearly as hard as Voltorb. That was by far the worst one that I've ever done. Next was Psyduck. This one was not particularly good just because it's slow. Yeah, I'm going to put it beside Jigglypuff. Again, there's not much more to say about Psyduck. Yeah, it's like a water type. I wish it was a psychic type. Geodude. Now, this one's going to go in the F tier, but that's just because of my personal experience with this playthrough. At some point, I reset right when I was fighting Koga or someone like that, but like for whatever reason, my save file got corrupted or something, and just like I popped back up at Misty and I had to play through the whole thing again. So it's so frustrating. Anyways, Geodude's also really bad. Like, it just gets knocked out immediately by everything that does 4 times damage to it. So Erica, Misty, that sort of thing. It was really hard for me when I played it, so we're putting it in the F tier. Sorry, Geodude. Golem is going to get ranked much better, don't worry. Next was Farfetch'd, and Farfetch'd is an interesting case because with bird Pokemon, bird-type Pokemon, yeah, Venomoth, the bird-type Pokemon. But with normal flying Pokemon, when I was bad, when I played this playthrough, I just like forgot that Farfetch'd is also a normal type Pokemon. So I forgot that it got the same type attack bonus with Body Slam. And then I just used like other moves instead of that, like Fly and stuff like that. But it gets Swords Dance and Body Slam. So my playthrough aside being quite bad, I'm going to put Farfetch'd in the B tier just because of its moveset. Like, I know that if I come back to do this one later, it will be significantly easier than it was when I originally did it. Like, these are first stage Pokemon. These Pokemon are significantly better. And then Farfetch'd, like, with Swords Dance, it's going to do well. I will come back and do this one again because, again, this one did not have a timer. So any of the Pokemon that I've done previously, if there was no timer in the video, I'm going to come back and do them again because, again, when I was playing, even when I started having timers, the runs are so bad. Next was Jinx, and this was a bit of a weird one. I did this run without psychic moves, so only physical moves. And I'm gonna put it in E tier because it wasn't as painful as something like Voltorb for me at least, but it was not fun. That one, Jinx will obviously be much better when I rank it later on, and I do it with psychic moves. Maybe it'll be like a Jinx versus Mr. Mime video because I've already done a couple Mr. Mime playthroughs that I never put on the channel, and I did this Jinx run here, so I have some experience with the Pokemon. After that, I did Chansey, and Chansey has great special, awful attack and defense, but good special. And from the length of this video just on my YouTube, it was not very hard. So I'm going to put it up here, B with Farfetch'd. Again, there is no timer in any of these videos. All of these videos have no timers, except Beedrill and Butterfree, who I played more recently after. Okay, next video is Meowth. The Meowth video I thought was going to be my best video. I made fun of Meowth a lot, and I was like, oh, this is so funny. It's going to be great. Everyone's going to love this. Turns out no one loves it when I make fun of Pokemon. So everyone didn't like this video, or a lot of people didn't. I got a lot of hate. Meowth was fine. It was fine. It's a normal type. Put it here. It's kind of like meh. And now up next is the beginning of the current era of Pokemon on this channel, because I played my first Versus video and I had timers, and I played with Cloyster versus Starmie. My background starting to get better. I've got a timer now. There's a tiny bit of information there. Yay! So let's go and look at where they ended up at. So around an hour and 40 minutes for Starmie. Cloyster was like 2 hours. Okay. So both of these Pokemon will be able to get better times. There is no way that both of these Pokemon should be up over an hour and a half. Like Starmie should be like an hour and 10 minutes, and Cloyster should be like probably an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 12 minutes. They should be really close, and yep, not definitely that long. So yeah, let's go and rank them. So Starmie is obviously, it won the race. So I'm gonna put it in the A tier. I think that it's probably gonna stay an A tier Pokemon. Like something like Mewtwo is always gonna be better, or Alakazam. Well, not Alakazam because of its weird start, but yeah, like Mewtwo is always gonna be like one of the best. Maybe Hypno will be like a S tier, and then I'll put Cloyster in B tier just because it's like not quite as good as Starmie. Again, it's like way more defensive, so I think that Cloyster deserves the B tier position. Then I did a Hitmonlee playthrough, and this one is super interesting. My real time to complete the game with Hitmonlee was 2 hours and 21 minutes, which is way too slow. It should be significantly faster than that. Hitmonlee is really great. I'm gonna put it, I'm like hesitant to put it there, but I'll put it here for now. Again, I'm ranking my playthroughs, but I'm gonna put Hitmonlee here. I'm ranking my playthroughs, but I am considering like how good the Pokemon is, and like with my current knowledge set, it's like Hitmonlee is definitely better than Beedrill and Butterfree, significantly so actually. So much so that maybe I need to shuffle everything down and just like, and then these all go down one tier. I think that that's what we're gonna do. Okay, now that I've shuffled everyone, this is gonna start making, oh no. Now that we shuffled everyone, we'll just pull these down like this, and I think that everything is starting to take shape now a little bit better. This is making me feel much better. Okay, let's move on. After Starmie versus Cloyster, the next versus video I did was Scyther versus Pinsir. Now, if you actually watch the footage, you'll notice that nothing has visually changed from Starmie versus Cloyster, and that's actually because I recorded these videos in the same week. I recorded all the videos that I released between January 2021 and, January 2021 and April 2021 in the span of 2 weeks. I recorded and produced them fully, and then I stopped making videos for 4 months because I was doing grad school. That's what you do with your vacation, I guess, when you really want to release Pokemon videos, and yeah. So anyways, I played these basically the same time that I played Starmie versus Cloyster, so it's the same knowledge set that I had then. Okay, so I got an hour and 40 minutes with Pinsir, and 2 hours and 15 minutes with Scyther. Now, I made tons of mistakes with the Scyther playthrough. I think that I should have used Hyper Beam, and then capitalized on its access to Swords Dance, but instead I think I went with Slash, and it just like, not good choice. Pinsir is better though, in my opinion, because the Hyper Beam strat, if you're judging it by real time, or game time I guess, Hyper Beam takes a long time because you have to buy coins. With this one, I think I'm going to put Pinsir, big buggy. Okay, there we go. I think it's like this, and I think this is like this. For now, at least. Remember, for now. They're similar times as well, because these were both 1 hour and 40 minute times. This was a 2 hour time, and this was a 2 hour and 21 minute, or 2 hour and 15 minute time. Sorry. Anyways, this is my tier list. This is subjective. Criticize me in the comments. It helps with the algorithm, right? Another tired trope. After that, I did Sandshrew, and this was the first video that I made after graduating. So this was when I started working on the channel again. May 2nd, 2021. Okay, so Sandshrew took over 3 hours to beat the game. You're going in the E tier, buddy. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, Lapras was next. I got the time somewhere around 2 hours and 30 seconds. 2 hours and 30 minutes. There we go. I got it. This is why I normally don't do live dialogue. It's because I just don't know how to speak. This one, I'll put it here in the B tier, but I think it's probably A tier if I did it again. Again, like, now that I'm looking back on it, like, everything from 8 or more months ago, I'm just like, I was so bad back then. It's hard for me to watch those videos. The production's not very good, and the results are just, like, I'm not on my game yet. Up next, Electabuzz versus Magmar. So, this is perhaps the first video that I start to feel like, okay, we're coming into like modern day Scott's Thoughts, although the play is not there yet, but I'm starting to like work out the format and the overlay and stuff like that and get it in a place where it looks similar to how it looks today. The results from these two are also starting to get a little bit better. Okay, so Electabuzz got 2 hours and 1 minute, and then Magmar got like somewhere around 2 hours and 10 minutes. pretty close. Again, Starmie was like a 1 hour 40. This was like 2 hours. So I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to have to shuffle these ones over. We're going to have a huge B tier, but I think that, like, yeah, you guys move over. Got to make way for Electabuzz. It's coming in here. And then at the end of this tier, I'm going to put Magmar. Because Magmar was good, but just not quite as good as Electabuzz. Unfortunately, something happened in this video, which I kind of wish didn't happen. I saved all my rare candies the entire playthrough, and then at the league, I tried to use them all, and the Pokemon were like level 76 going into the league, and they both just steamrolled the league immediately, and it was like the least entertaining thing to watch. And then I was like, I need to ban rare candies. And so then I started putting in all these kind of weird rules about rare candy use throughout my Versus videos moving forward, and I honestly don't think that that helped the format or helped me grow as a player for a long time, because a lot of these times are actually longer than they need to be just because I'm not using rare candies throughout the playthrough. I could just skip all the training in the mid-game, use rare candies, and get to the league significantly faster, and then have the same chance of beating the league as if I didn't use rare candies. That's going to start happening more in modern videos, but yeah, for now, Electabuzz, Magmar, right here. Maybe these two deserve a demotion. I think that's probably the case. Yeah, let's do it. I think this whole tier, I think this is like a good D tier. I think Porygon is going to get... Chansey, you're just so big. Chansey, could you be less big? These two might need to go down. I'm gonna... Fire type, not as good as Water Ice in Kanto. Fighting type, not very good, but only has one weakness. Or two weaknesses, and they're not very common. Like, the only thing Hitmonlee basically has to watch out for is Lance's Aerodactyl. Like, what else? Everything else is just gonna steamroll with stab moves that, like, it just, like, it has a huge attack stat. Anyways, okay, this is looking good. Let's keep going. Next was my Aerodactyl video, which was quite possibly the hardest video I've ever tried to upload. Maybe second hardest, because I had to re-upload it 3 times. And that's because there was an offensive meme in my video because I didn't know what the historical context around the meme was. Whoops. But this was also my nostalgia video, and I really liked making it. It was really fun. Even though I did all the video editing in one day, it took me 14 hours. It was absolutely exhausting. And that's why there were so many problems with the upload. Never do things last minute like that. I've learned this now. Okay, so I got like a 3.5 hour time with Aerodactyl, and then like just under 3 hours when I used all my rare candies right away with it. I want to retry this one at some point because I think that it's going to be easier than it was back then. But for now, you know, this is a Pokemon that I thought was going to be good, but it really wasn't. I'm putting it down here in the E tier. I think if I replayed it, it would be like decent. Jigglypuff, we gotta move everyone. I think this is a funny Pokemon, but like I recently did like a Clefairy playthrough, and I got better time than I did with Aerodactyl. I don't know if I can actually beat Clefairy's time with Aerodactyl now. And that's just because Aerodactyl's moveset sucks. And its typing is awful. So I'm not sure about Aerodactyl. He's going there, and I think he deserves to be there. Probably in the modern era, when I do a playthrough with a better playthrough with him, I'll probably be able to move him up a little bit. But for now, Aerodactyl goes down there. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are, I keep thinking like, oh, this is just so subjective. I'm actually putting together a giant spreadsheet of all my times through all these games with all these Pokemon. So there is going to be like an objective data to go to as well, which isn't just a subjective tier list like this. The tier list is just for fun. Then I did a playthrough with Snorlax. I actually did 3 playthroughs with Snorlax, and 2 of them made it to the channel. And these were one without amnesia and one with amnesia, and these were both obviously really good. These would be like some of my best times yet on the channel. So I'm gonna dethrone Starmie here and put Snorlax up at the top. Yeah, Snorlax is really good. I actually initially thought when I was doing this video that I was going to try and make it all in one day, and I still can't do that. Now, even though I've made like the process making videos so much more efficient, I still can't do it. So I don't even know how I would have hoped to have done this. This video took me some of the longest time to edit because I had to make the timers for the game. I had to make them in Premiere Pro after the fact because all the timers that I recorded when I recorded the footage were all broken. Synchronizing footage to a timer in Premiere Pro when you don't have all the footage because you only record the battles that you want, not fun. But I actually figured it out, and it is all accurate. but yeah, not fun. They just looked visually bad, so I could like synchronize the footage. It was just like very, very tedious. Worst video ever to produce. Next, I did Mew, and Mew was an hour and 20 minutes, so that's my best time so far. And at this point now, I'm realizing I think we need a tier list shuffle because I don't think that Mew deserves S-class performance. I think it's probably top of A, because like it gets 100 in all of its stats, but 100 in all of its stats are like, that's not great. It doesn't have 130 in one of its stats or something like that. So it's like, it does everything all right, but it doesn't do anything great. I'll probably do another Mew playthrough at some point, just because it's pretty fast. It's very easy to use. It learns all the TMs, so it's so flexible. Which is actually sometimes a bad thing, because it's hard to plan. Like, what are you going to do with it? You can do anything. I forgot soft-boiled in my playthrough, and I really wish that I had remembered soft-boiled because of how good it is. And then I did the fossils video, which took me a very long time to produce because I did 3 runs with each of them. And Omastar, from a playthrough perspective, definitely not quite as good as Kabutops. Kabutops definitely taking the crown here, just because it has Swords Dance, and Omastar doesn't. I let Omastar use Double Team just because I wanted it to like try and be as competitive as possible, but it's just not. Kabutops is better. It's faster and more consistent. Oh yeah, look at this. I remember making this. This was fun.
Fossilized memes. The editing
So
on
I
this
had,
project has also
yeah,
been
it was
minutes and
brutal.
12 seconds from Omastar's time.
Okay, let's see.
This consistent league run,
Give me some times here.
Executor, who has out 125.
Okay, so now what you can see, Omastar got an hour and 5 minutes, and Kabutops is going to get a time faster than that. So these are modern playthrough times for me now. This is the first video where I really started to feel my own modern routing coming in. So like digging between Cerulean and Vermilion and those sort of things. Once I had got to this level of optimization, now it's like every playthrough I do, I don't shave that much time off, and like I'm not getting much faster than this. With each Pokemon, I can usually shave time off for the second playthrough, but not get under these sorts of times. Just above 1 hour seems to be the sort of threshold for most Pokemon. At least the ones that I'm using in Versus videos, that is. Because I haven't used like Mewtwo yet. So these two get great times. They definitely deserve to be right next to each other. And I'm not really sure where to place them just because their times are so much better than all of these other Pokemon. Again, these are all the first runs that I did. So of these, now if we look through them and get a sense for like which ones I think need to be where, I think this is how I'm going to like resort things and reshuffle things. I'll probably put these together. I'm going to move Meowth down here behind Aerodactyl. It's not that it's bad, but it's a first stage, and like I think that Porygon would get a better time. Then I'm going to shuffle these over and bring these down. Okay, so I think Omastar deserves this tier, and I think Kabutops deserves. And I think that Kabutops, like this is a versus video that would be cool, but I think that Kabutops might be better than Starmie. That's kind of fighting words, but I'm almost 100% sure that I could do better with Kabutops than Starmie. Yeah, Swords Dance is really good, and Starmie doesn't have any setup, so it has like Bolt Beam and everything. It's great. Surf, Bolt, Beam. It's wonderful, but this is Swords Dance Body Slam. That's very strong in Gen 1. Again, we'll switch them in places right now just because of my playthroughs, but I think that that's where everything's at. If I had to move Pokemon down from this tier, probably move Cloyster down. Put Omastar at the front of this list. No, maybe Electabuzz. Then, yeah, like this, I think. Okay, I think this is a better representation for where things are at. Because Scyther is not going to be as good as Lapras. Ice is great. Water is great. Water is great. Hitmonlee is a beast. Electabuzz is a beast. These Pokemon are all exceptional. I think these Pokemon here are the ones that like I'm most interested to retry. Porygon, Farfetch'd, Chauncey, actually. My girlfriend calls it Chauncey. She's not British. Following that, I did what is my least favorite video. Alakazam vs. Gengar, and Alakazam won. It beat Gengar. And this was very surprising, and it did not get as good of times as the fossils did. And I would say that that's largely because Alakazam starts with no attacking moves, so it goes quite slowly. Ends up getting a time around like 1 hour and 16 minutes, which is respectable, but I'm going to put it in the C tier, okay? And then Gengar. And Gengar gets a time that's like roughly equivalent. It was very close to Alakazam, but just slightly slower. I could replay Gengar, and Gengar would be faster than Alakazam, and I recognize that my substitute strategy with Gengar just wasn't good. And because of that, I'm going to rank Gengar above Alakazam. It starts with attacking moves, it has Nightshade, it has Lick. Alakazam has nothing to attack with. If I just steamroll the game with Gengar, I'll get a faster time. Granted, I can shave time off the Alakazam playthrough, and the reason I know this is I actually played a follow-up video to this one. I played another Gengar playthrough, and I played another Alakazam playthrough, but I never released them. And the reason was I did not have time to edit the video. So that footage is just in cold storage somewhere. Who knows? Anyways, yeah, I did additional playthroughs. Okay, the next two that I did, Machamp and Golem. Because I was originally intending to do 4 Pokemon in one video, and then I realized this video will be 8 hours and I will never finish editing it, and I will never release another video on the channel. So I was like, okay, I'm going to split them up. So I did the 2 special trait evolutions and then the 2 physical trait evolutions, and what I was very surprised by is I thought these 2 were going to suck, and they didn't. They were extremely even. Perhaps the most even race that I've had so far. And like so much so that this is when the trend of playing multiple runs for a video started. And I really wish it hadn't, because now it's so hard to make a versus video. These all clocked in the mid 110s, so that's around the time that like these got, but they actually got faster times than Gengar and Alakazam. So for now, I'm gonna move them and put them ahead. I personally think that Golem is kind of the winner. It got faster times on both of the 2 of the playthroughs, but Machamp got the overall faster time, but only in one of the playthroughs. It depends on how you look at it, because for me, I'm always trying to get the fastest time with every Pokemon. I'm just genuinely curious to see which one will be faster. If you think about it like this, like practice, then practice pays off more with Machamp, at least so far for me. And then Golem is more intuitive. So if you sit down and play the challenge, you're probably going to get a better time with Golem your first time. It's so easy to use, but if you really practice a lot, Machamp is able to edge out a little bit more of an advantage throughout the playthrough. So it got the lowest time overall of all 3 runs that I did, but Golem, yeah. Rock Ground it's a good combination to have Stab on in the league in Kanto. And then the cringiest video of them all. Yeah, this video wasn't good. But this video was surprising because Grimer was way better than I thought it would be. Okay, so this is my Grimer video. There's so many bad jokes in this video. I just went for it. Okay, let's see. What did I get? I got like 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's pretty good. And this is just because I'm using minimized strats. I think without minimized strategies, this would have been much different with Grimer. Minimize really carried it. So with Grimer, again, it's a first stage Pokemon. It got a timer on like 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's not great. Aerodactyl was like 3 hours and 35 minutes and then came in just under 3 hours. So like, I think it's probably down here in this tier, but like with the minimized strat that I used with substitute, it's probably, I'm going to put it at the end of this tier. It deserves F tier actually because of my video. No, I'm kidding. I'll put it here. But the video, yeah. After that, I did Tauros versus Kangaskhan. These 2 are great, like really great, but I was very surprised that Kangaskhan edged out Tauros, and that's because of its leveling rate. This one would be really interesting to do again with using rare candies, because rare candies can make up for leveling rate to some extent, because then you don't have to train in the wild, so you're not spending more time fighting trainers. Like, you can just get the levels when you need them. So that would allow Tauros to wait a little bit longer, rely on some of its like natural abilities to get it through the earlier parts of the game, and then start using rare candies later on. Whereas Kangaskhan would be like, it doesn't really matter when it uses its rare candies because it levels up faster overall. This one's hard. So these ones were like in the like 110s, like just under 110s in terms of performance times. So That's like less than Kabutops. For now, we're gonna put these beside. So Kangaskhan first, just because my results so far show that Kangaskhan was a little bit better with my rules. I realize all of this is with my rules, blah, 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 tons of stipulations. Yeah. If you just change the rules, like Porygon is the best Pokemon, or Jinx is the best Pokemon, or Voltorb's the best Pokemon. Just have, like, it depends on what the rule set is, obviously. Next was Raticate. They got a time of 1 hour and 20 minutes, and it surprised me so much. Like, it was really good. I did not expect this. I'm going to put it in the B tier. Yeah, Raticate was great. Yeah. Right now, I'm thinking of promoting some of these Pokemon because I want to give some Pokemon S tier rank. And so I'm actually going to promote probably these 3. And then later on, I'll probably go back and do playthroughs and I'll get better times with other Pokemon and they'll be promoted. But yeah. And also, now that I think about it, these 2 tiers are probably kind of backwards now. Like, I think that the trade evolutions in general are better than most of these Pokemon. So we'll bring down like Scyther, Raticate. Maybe we'll move these 2 over. I'll probably bring down Hitmonlee for now because I don't have a great result with it. Move this over because Electabuzz won't be as good as these. And then these will... Oh, I think Cloyster needs to go up too. Cloyster's good. Water Ice is good typing, especially in Gen 1. This is why I've avoided doing this tier list for so long. It's more fun just reflecting on the videos right now, but it's the end of the year, that sort of thing. I've avoided doing this video because, like, in the end, like, this is all subjective. Like, if we really want to do it, like, by real time completed, it's going to be so skewed just towards, like, when the date of the video was. Because the older the video is, the more likely the Pokemon is to get a trash time, like Aerodactyl. And the more recent the video is, the more likely it is that the Pokemon will get a great time. So, like, here's an example. Snorlax, for instance. Its time is going to be significantly worse than these 2 because I played it earlier. When you're learning something, you're getting better at it at the beginning, you're going to be learning really quickly. And then as time goes on, that those gains are it's going to start to, like, be diminishing returns. And so then we're going to see that now with my runs. You're going to see that in the starters video. I'm kind of able to put out decent results the very first playthrough that I do, and then I can shave off some time, but not like 2 hours of time, which I think I could do now if I did like Aerodactyl again. I could shave off like at least an hour and a half of the time from the initial video. Okay, and it doesn't feel like all those videos that I just mentioned, like Tauros and Kangaskhan, were that long ago, or it feels like they were like forever ago, but actually those are kind of recent videos, and now we're into like modern day oh dear. Now we're into modern day Scott's Thoughts videos. So Ghastly, this one was right before Halloween. Ghastly's good. What time did I get with Ghastly? I got a spreadsheet over here that I can look at to see. It was actually the first Pokemon that I put in the spreadsheet, so that's when I started the spreadsheet, is when I did the Ghastly playthrough. I got a time of 1 hour and 27 minutes, just behind Raticate, but also significantly faster than Beedrill and Butterfree. So I'll put it here, and I think that again, like, I'm feeling good about the ranking of these 3 in relation to each other, and then the ranking of these 4 in relation to these ones. Whereas other ones, like these, like, the results are a little bit old now that I'm not entirely sure. After that, I did Slowpoke. Slowpoke got a time of 1 hour and 22 minutes, so a little bit slower than Raticate, and a little bit faster than Ghastly. It's funny that Slowpoke is faster than Ghastly. What the? Well, water typing is better than poison typing in Pokemon Yellow 100%, but that isn't the case in Red and Blue, because there's a lot of stuff like on Lance's team where he'll just spam agility against you, so Ghastly's poison typing is actually helpful there. That's why someone like J-Rose got a really good time with Ghastly in Red and Blue, whereas I didn't get such a good time with Ghastly, but that's because I'm playing Yellow, so it has to do with AI and movesets. And then from there, I just decided to torture myself. Why did I do this? I did Magnemite next. It got 2 hours and 18 minutes. It's slower than all of these Pokemon. So he gets to go down here in the E tier. You're an electric type. I'm putting you at the end of the E tier because it's a Pokemon Yellow. Yeah, Magnemite doesn't feel good. Don't like it. Yeah, definitely Grimer felt better than Magnemite, but that's, again, like minimize strats. If you want to invalidate the minimize strats, again, Grimer goes down here. Just minimize strats are not very fun. No one likes them. Then I did Pikachu. Pikachu got 2 hours and 20 minutes. It was slower than Magnemite. And then I did this cute little fox dog thing. Everyone says it's a fox. I said it's a doggo. And then people are like, it's a fox. I don't care. It's cute. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of like domesticated animal. So it's like a cat or a dog or I guess a fox if you watch TikTok. Anyways, Eevee got an hour and 56 minutes. So it was actually comparable in this case to Beedrill and Butterfree. And what I'm realizing now as I move Porygon over, I'm like, this guy deserves to be higher. So I got to redo that one. Yeah, we've caught up now. Oh, I forgot Clefairy. How did I forget Clefairy? Poor little thing. It's so cute. Look at it. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Clefairy got a time of 1 hour and 23 minutes. That's between Ghastly and Raticate, and it definitely feels like it belongs there. Like Clefairy is really good. Remember what I was saying earlier? Like, I don't know if I could beat Clefairy's time with Aerodactyl. Like, that might still hold true, despite how good Aerodactyl's stats are. This thing's moveset and being a normal type in Generation 1, like Stab, Body Slam, that's good. It's really good. Okay, so let's review the tier list and see if this kind of checks out so far. Again, I'm basing this on my results from my first playthroughs with these Pokemon, and we're going to go from bottom to top. Voltorb, Geodude, and Jinx. Jinx, I only used physical moves. And I didn't use Lick. Whoops. Geodude was frustrating as hell and really an awful typing for like Generation 1. And Voltorb, it's Voltorb. It's bad. It's an electric type. And that makes sense because then in the E tier following it, we have Pikachu and Magnemite, which are just terrible first stage Pokemon that are just, in Pokemon Yellow, they just get wrecked so hard. Then we have a bunch of other first stage Pokemon, which I don't really remember Psyduck and Sandshrew and Jigglypuff like at all. Like I don't remember playing them, or Meowth actually, just too long ago. Aerodactyl was an awful first stage, awful single stage Pokemon. I thought it was going to do really well, and it did really badly. Porygon, don't really remember it. It's kind of like meh, but I think it'll do better when I redo it. Eevee did pretty good actually for its learn set. Like its learn set's really bad. Beedrill is pretty good. Butterfree, good with Substitute. Farfetch will do much better because it has Swords Dance and Body Slam. You just skip Chansey. Oh well. Magmar, not as good as Electabuzz, but it's decent. Then we have some really good first stage Pokemon, Ghastly, Clefairy, and Slowpoke. And then great, actually, like underestimated early Pokemon, Raticate. I think Scyther will rank higher when I redo it. Hitmonlee will also rank higher when I redo it. Same with Lapras. Omastar is not as good as Kabutops. And I think here maybe Omastar deserves the upgrade because it's pretty good in Gen 1. Like, it's pretty good. It's got a great special stat. Yeah, it definitely deserves the upgrade. Electabuzz, electric types, they're like not great in Gen 1, but of them all, Electabuzz or Jolteon, like obviously Zapdos, those are going to be high rankers of electric types. Alakazam, Gengar, these ones, I kind of stand by this right now until I redo these two. Cloyster, it's just slow, that's the only problem. Luckily it has great defense. If only its special was better. These are all fantastic Pokemon. I think Snorlax would be higher if I did it more recently. Same with Starmie. I'm like, Swords Dance, Stab, Body Slam, really bulky, kind of frail. I think the fragility of Starmie is the thing that would hold it back. It'd be interesting to do like Omastar versus Starmie or something like that. Up here at the top, really, really, really strong Pokemon. Again, normal types, great in Generation 1, and Kabutops is like one of the best times that I've got yet on the channel. I haven't got a sub 1 hour time, but Kabutops is one of the best times I've got. I didn't actually think it would be that way. Now that I reflect on all this, I was like, I didn't realize just how good Kabutops' time was. Why did Kabutops get such a good time? That's the mystery now. So yeah, this is a reflection of essentially the first year and a half of my channel. I think by going through this list and looking at all the Pokemon that I've completed, played, but you know who I forgot Pokemon. I'm like doing the outro to the video, and I just realized right now that I didn't talk about Tentacool. Like, where's poor Tentacool in all this? I definitely did a Tentacool playthrough. Haha! It was a great first stage Pokemon. I'm gonna put it here, right by Ghastly, and like I did it a long time ago, so I did worse with it than I did with any of these three. It's gonna go right here. This is like my 4th yellow video. It's pretty early on. Anyways, this is my tier list so far. And what I've realized by doing this exercise of going through and ranking all of these Pokemon is that my abilities to play this game have dramatically improved. All the way from some of the worst playthroughs that I did, like Aerodactyl or, Aerodactyl was really bad. Or Voltorb. These are all playthroughs that just did not go well in a lot of ways. To more modern playthroughs like Snorlax or Mew, which objectively were okay, like Mew got an hour and 20 minutes, but I think that if I did them today, I would do even better because I've unlocked just even more information that really helps to minimize real time spent. I'm continuing to improve. I'm continuing to adjust also my rules for my challenges to try and make them more like fair and interesting. Again, it's a subjective tier list. For me, most of it feels pretty right, and I'm going to start including it at the end of my videos and ranking new Pokemon and sort of showing where they pop up. And then I also intend to replay old Pokemon that I feel I did not get good results with, because again, it's like doing like a race and trying to get a personal best. I just want to get good personal bests with all of these Pokemon. That's the thing that's really interesting to me. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, you're incredible, and I'll see you in my next video.